Dr. Huang tried to introduce me. Because, there is a good news for you. I tried to introduce in my presentation about the e-business transformation for the small and medium-sized enterprise here in Taiwan. The kind of project we have done in the past decade. And you are very lucky because now this project just have annual meetings downstairs. That's why I have to go there and try to make some social event. Okay. So if you have any question about the presentation, I say, or you really doubt about it, then my suggestion will be you can go downstairs during your lunch break. And you will realize that most people try to run away because they cannot speak English. But anyway, your translator is here. Okay, I will be there and making any needed translation so that you will see in the past several years how we here in Taiwan we use internet, try to help the SME to become unique, the kind of project we have done here. Okay, did I try to send an email to myself? No, I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, small and medium-sized enterprises. Small and medium-sized enterprises, they are just like honeybees in our economics. Honeybees are very small, and most importantly, they live so busy every day. But the most important thing is, hummingbird is a very important part in our ecosystem. Without them, no doubt our ecosystem will corrupt. Well, it's just like the SME in our economic systems. Small and medium-sized enterprises have to work very, very hard so that they earn not as much as the multi-medium enterprise. But still, they are very important for us and for everyone. There is some problem about professor from the management information system that, we always cannot handle our computer very well. Gee, this computer. I'm sorry. If it's in a university, some student will get into trouble when this happens. There is even more important in Taiwan, those SME play a role. Because in Taiwan, the majority of our multinational companies are actually used to be a small and medium-sized enterprises. So they are not only a hummingbird. Actually, we recognize them as a baby tigers. We were expecting that someday some of them will become tigers, that they will earn more profit, they will create competitive advantage for our country. So we always emphasize, try to help the SME in Taiwan that they can prosper and they create benefit to our societies. Well, in the past, we usually emphasize on the top of those top SMEs. But this kind of strategy will create a problem because we make the nose taller and taller, and one day it's just not a good idea because you have so many powerful SMEs, but the most of them will lay behind. So several years ago, we tried to change our strategy. The new strategy emphasized on building up a healthy ecosystem for the SMEs so that they can prosper. Every one of them can be prospered in our economic system. So the new project will emphasize on the foundation of the SME. The majority of them will we will call micro enterprises. That is, employee less than 20 employees in their companies. Our idea is, by emphasizing on this foundation, we will create the healthy foundation for our whole ecosystem. So the whole triangle become bigger and bigger. So eventually, we will make our baby tigers more become real tigers. let me introduce the ideas. Several years ago, we recognized that, yes, ICT technology changed a lot of things. When I was a kid, my mother asked me to phone my father to find out where he are. So we always make a phone call and say, is Mr. Liu there? Now when my wife tried to find me, my daughter will make a phone call and say, Dad, where are you? Well, I'm afraid that, well, actually it already happened. My daughter will make a phone call and say, Dad, why are you late? Well, anyway, that's terrible about ICT problem. But ICT did create new opportunity and threat to our SMEs. What kind of threat? Well, in the past, the majority about the SME in Taiwan are what we call SME 1.0. They are a Me Too enterprise. That means they copy other people's business model. And they were usually protected by geographic barrier. That means they're usually located in a small town, that they are the only grocery store in the town. So they were protected by geographic barriers. But then those kind of SME always try to keep their competitor away from them. But now thanks to the internet, they introduce new customer for those SME, but they also introduce new competitors from outside. So we actually need to transform our small and medium-sized enterprise into SME 2.0. That means those are the enterprise that is very unique. The kind of SME are protected by its own competence or resources. If you have any question about these, go downstairs. You will see how those enterprises can be unique. And they always try to cluster with their competitor so that they can create a network effect. So in the past, when you try to sell, for example, rice, your competitor are those people who also producing rice. But now you try to cluster all the rice producers so that you can introduce a new kind of product to your customer that is more value added. So the idea is dramatically different. So in order to do so, in order to make our SME transform itself into an SME 2.0, the idea we have promote a sequential kind of activity to try to provide our help to those SMEs. The strategy of this project is the core concept is incubating. We try to incubate those SME, and it's surrounded by 5 major strategies. Let me make introduction to this strategy. First of all, it's incubating oriented. That actually means we never try to teach out our SME how to survive, how to do in the internet era. We try to make them to make their own decision. Even though at the very beginning, their idea seems so stupid sometimes. For example, our most proudest project is called the BGO company. BGO company used to be a traditional wholesaler of cosmetics. They have big warehouse crowded with cosmetics. They try to sell their cosmetics through the internet. So the first time when our consultant talked to BGO, we talked to those guys and said, hey, on the internet, nobody wants to have inventory. Inventory costs you a lot of money. So you should be a virtual company, stock, inventory, laid to other people. You just sell them. So you don't have to hold any inventory. The company, the BGO company, refused because they think they are still a wholesaler. So we believe that because they are adopting a wrong business model, they must be fair. But because it's incubating oriented, we wait and we provide every needed help to BGO. Eventually, BGO realized that with inventory, that actually will create them a very powerful competitive advantage when they try to doing business with overseas Chinese. Cosmetics, very interesting. Maybe we should ask those women about these. No matter where they go, they always buy cosmetics. They always love to buy cosmetics from their motherland, because they always will say that my skin, more perfect fit to Taiwanese produced cosmetics or something like that. So, if you didn't have inventory, every orders, once I order a bottle of cosmetics, then you have to ship it once, and the shipment cost will cost you a fortune. But if you have inventory, you can pack all the cosmetics you need into one package and you ship it. So the shipment cost can be cheaper. So the company go overseas and become so successfully, but their competitor, their successful competitor, even today, are still limited in this island. They can only sell their product to customers in this island. And the competition was so fierceful, they cannot earn a good profit from it. So incubating oriented, we realized is quite important to our success. Let me introduce another idea. In Taiwan, you can buy bicycles from internet. You can also buy bicycle from traditional bike store. Amazing. You can actually buy cheaper bike from traditional bike store instead of internet. That's weird, right? Because internet seller don't have inventory. Their operation cost is far more lower than traditional bike shop, right? Why bike shop in Taiwan can sell bicycle even cheaper